I had a very interesting question on my Whitney gear video, and the person that asked the question, they essentially asked, why do you have the REI Flash 18 in your setup? I went through the process of explaining why I have a Summit pack, and as I was talking to, or I was responding to that question, I began thinking to myself, why exactly do I have this Summit pack, and why am I not trying to compress the ULA Circuit into a much smaller package? Now, for those of you that have a ULA Circuit, you guys know this thing can get massive. I mean, it really can swallow up a lot of gear. So I never really looked at it as something that can really compress down to the size of a Summit pack. But after I answered that question, about halfway through answering that question, I thought to myself, hey, you know what, I should take a really good look at the ULA Circuit and see what options I have. So what I did is I looked at my ULA Circuit, and I think I figured out a way that I can compress this down to the size of a Summit pack, almost to the size of an REI Flash. Now, right on top of this ULA Circuit right here, you guys have the Flash 18. It's a 2015 model. And basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the ULA Circuit and compress it down to the size of a Summit pack, size of a Flash 18. So yeah, stick around, guys. I think you're really going to like this video, and for those of you that have a ULA Circuit, I think you're going to find this information very, very useful. Okay, so hopefully for this part we can see what's going on. I kind of got this all rigged up over here to kind of show you guys what I was talking about earlier. Essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to mimic the compactor system that you find on the Go-Lite Jam pack. Yeah, I was staring at this thing and I realized that you can kind of pull a fakie by utilizing some of the stuff that's on the actual ULA pack. So one of the first things that you want to do is you want to remove the strap, or rather the waist belt, from the buckle right over here. Okay? So that's the first thing that you want to do. You want to do that on both sides before this, and kind of got quite an elaborate setup here, so if I hit the camera, my apologies. Okay, so now that you have both of these two buckles free, the next step, on the bottom of the ULA Circuit you have these two tool attachment loops. A lot of people will use them for trekking poles or ice axes. But these are going to be essential in kind of creating that compactor style system here on the ULA pack. So I'll show you over here on this particular buckle. What you do is you go ahead and you move the button all the way down to the top, and then take the tool attachment and run it across that right there in the buckle. So you've got the buckle wrapped around. Okay, then all you do is you just pull the button shut, okay, and perform the same function on the opposite side. So again, run the loop over the buckle and pull the button tight. Now, what you've essentially done is you've taken the pack and you've compress the bottom down, similar to the same style that you would have on a jam pack, the compressor system on a jam pack. Now, the next step that I was kind of talking about in the other shot that you saw was we need to compress this portion of it, and that is easily done. I'm going to flip this pack around. That is easily done. Sorry, again, I have this elaborate setup here. I don't want to hit the camera. But essentially what you have here is you have your cord that you have at the front, and what you do is just simply pull that tight, and then take the button and just tuck this into here. So what you have now is you have drastically, and you'll obviously cinch up the sides of this. Now what you've basically done is you've drastically reduced the overall volume of the pack. Okay. And depending to your likeness or your need, you can go ahead and cinch this tighter or leave it looser, but essentially you just want to cinch up that area so you're bringing everything in. Now what you've basically done is you've created a much smaller pack, but check this out, you still haven't lost, let me see if I can bring this back into frame, you have not lost functionality with your pockets. So let me bring in a couple water bottles here, but essentially you haven't lost functionality with your pockets. And actually what you have when you turn it around, let me actually turn it around. What you actually have is somewhat of an ohm 2.0 shape with the water bottle pockets. So let me grab some bottles here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so these are 1.5 liter smart water bottles. Okay, I'll go ahead and set that one down there, but essentially you still have functionality with your water bottles. You can still easily reach them. You do have to kind of take out the pocket a little bit and make sure that you give it enough room to rest in there. Yeah, you've essentially reduced the pack volume drastically. You now have a more summit pack style pack. You're utilizing a compactor style system like the Go-Lite products used to do. And you basically got yourself a really great summit pack. Okay, so here's the final product. Once I tucked that jacket in, it went ahead and blew out the bottom over there so you can see the ULA Circuit logo again. But yeah, that is basically your summit pack as a ULA Circuit. It's about as compressed as it can be. I would say it's, I don't know, I'd say it's approximately about a 30 liter, like a grand total 30 liter looking kind of a pack, for lack of a better term. Not too much bigger than you would get from an REI flash. And actually, let me see if I can pull that guy right next to it. So here's last year's model flash sitting on top of that. So there you go, you get a basic idea of what we're looking at. So that's a flash 18. That's the last year's model, the 2015 model, Flash 18. And let me go ahead and pull it off of there. So again, not too much bigger than the Flash 18. Now, of course, it's a bigger pack in general, so it's going to be a little bit bulkier than the 18, obviously. But really, not too much bigger. All right, so hopefully you guys found that information useful. I know that I certainly am very grateful for this information, and I know that I'm very grateful for that gentleman that asked a question, because now I no longer have to carry an extra summit pack. I can essentially create a summit pack for my ULA Circuit just by utilizing, the straps that are currently on the pack as they are. If you guys have any comments, like I always say, man, I love talking about gear, so please feel free to comment. Please feel free to leave constructive criticisms, or if you notice something else that I might have missed on this, please feel free to leave that also in the comment section. I'll do my best to respond. All right, everyone, take care, and talk to you guys later.